we don't know all the answers. And that to me is magic, because you can't always have a scientific answer for everything. Hello tribe, I am Tamara with Luce Bianca Sound Healing and Meditation. My YouTube video and all of my platforms, if you're new to them, welcome. I talk about all kinds of manifestation and energy and light work, tarot, divinity, law of attraction, and anything that will help us get into a higher vibration and live a much better, fulfilled life. If you are not new to my channel, welcome again. And I always love your comments, and I just want to say thank you for your support. If you're new, please subscribe and hit that notification button, because I have so many cool things that are coming up ahead in certain videos. We will be talking about a lot of metaphysical stuff, and yeah, there's just a lot of cool things up ahead. So today, I want to talk to you about a topic that has been highly requested. I have a private Facebook group where my tribe members come together, we chat, we discuss all things manifestation, all things spiritual. And I posted a poll recently, trying to see what they wanted me to talk about on my next videos. So the most popular choice was how to have a Christ-centered spiritual practice. It is having your practice include tarot and oracle, manifestation, meditation, law of attraction, crystal work, aromatherapy, sound healing, and having Christ as the grounding element, and revolving the practice while still loving him and honoring him, and just having him be a big part of your life. So a couple of disclaimers. This is my take on it. This is my personal practice. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and whatever you decide to do in your own spiritual journey, it is right for you. And this is definitely not the end all. And this spiritual practice and information that I'm sharing with you today is something that works for me. I've been asked to talk about it. So this is just something that I follow. I went through a lot of different spiritual paths in my life, but I just want to share as my personal opinion and lifestyle, but I'm not pushing it on anyone. I'm not saying that this is the only way to worship or include Christ in your life. I respect all traditions. I respect all origins. I respect whatever you decide to do for yourself. I just ask that you remain kind and open-hearted and classy while watching this video, and understand that it's just my take on it, and take the parts that you need, or the parts that you want to explore, and leave what doesn't align with you. So with all of that said, I want to be clear that I am not someone who believes in labels. I don't call myself or consider myself anything other than someone who is living life and experiencing life in whatever way I am called to do it, whether it's in my personal choices or in my spiritual practices. So I am not labeling any of this Christianity or anything. I am basically referring to, in this video, to Christ consciousness. In fact, that is the term I'm going to be using for the rest of the video. So Christ consciousness, what is it? Well, for me, in my opinion and in my own experience, Christ consciousness is being able to live with the walking the path hand in hand with Christ, and looking to him and having a relationship with him that is based not on fear, that is based not on what we've been told by different religions, that is not a one-sided relationship, that unless you do everything you've been told to do, you are condemned and you're guilty and you're hated. For me, Christ consciousness has been able to see Christ as the figure of all-ending love, all-ending forgiveness, all-ending goodness and purity and light. And also believing that you are incredibly wanted to have a relationship with him. Whether you personally want to have a relationship with some other, spiritual being, or, exploring different divinities, that is completely up to each individual person. There is no right or wrong. But if you feel called to have Christ-centered practices in your life, you are so welcome to, and there is no requirements. There is zero, prerequisite to be walking a path where you see Christ consciousness as, like almost like a benchmark of goodness, and something that you feel empowered by, and you feel loved, and you feel cherished and protected, and you feel safe in your Christ consciousness practice, no matter what you choose to do with it. In order to be able to do that, I believe that to live a Christ-centered or Christ consciousness lifestyle, you have to be able to let go of the labels. You just have to be able to let go of, what is this? What am I? Am I a Christo-pagan? Am I, some people refer to Christian witch. Some people refer to modern Christian. I don't do labels. So to me, none of those apply. And I think that's why it works well for me. I am able to have a relationship in Christ consciousness in my life because I'm so done with restrictions and requirements in order to be able to know Jesus. I want to know Master Jesus and live a Christ consciousness life based on a personal, intimate relationship that I develop with him. And that relationship that I have with him is going to be way different than a relationship you're going to have with him or someone else. That's because we are called to have our own individual relationship. We are not all in this cookie cutter world that many of us want us to believe that, you just have to do this and that's the way it is and that's the best path. No, you make your own best path according to your own lifestyle and decisions. Another disclaimer is this is a huge topic. So there is no way I'm covering all of my own Christ-centered practices in this one video today. So be on the lookout for more videos where I'll talk a little bit more how I include Master Jesus in my spiritual woo-woo lifestyle. And then a final note, because in this video, the word magic will come up a lot. I think everyone has their own individual interpretation of the word magic. There's some really super conservative groups maybe that believe that the word magic is only associated with witchcraft, and that witchcraft, in their opinion, is only associated with evil and darkness and Satan and, just something that you don't mess with because it's awful and it's dangerous. To me personally, the word magic is actually a very broad term. I believe in miracles, and I think miracles are magic. To me, the word magic is what you can't grasp with your 3D being, what you can't necessarily hear or see or compute with your human brain. It goes beyond the human experience. It is something related to the spirit. It is something related to just a higher dimension. So for some people, that is spirituality. For some people, that's miracles. Some people, that's manifestation. Some people, is magic. It is just I'm trying to find the right umbrella term for all of it. But to me, magic is a lot more than, the common vision that we all get in our head of like, making things happen with your mind, or waving, a wand and, things happen. It is so much more than that. Magic, everything is magic. When you think about it, there are things even in science that scientists haven't been able to even explain because they haven't had those answers. There's so many unknowns that we just know have happened and they're in existence, but we don't know all the answers. And that to me is magic, because you can't always have a scientific answer for everything, and that's okay. I, for one, love to merge science and spirituality and woo-woo-ness and kind of put them together, but there's so many gray areas. So when we go through this video, when I am talking about Christ-centered and the word magic, it could seem contradicting to some who believe that magic is just, like this, I don't know, tarot reader and who's like doing fortune telling and reading your palm. It's so much more than that, and it can encompass everything that applies to you in your own lifestyle and your own practice. So keep a very, very open mind when we talk about magic. That said, I personally believe that the concept of Jesus, the concept of being in a Christ-centered spiritual path, and even the Bible, and even interacting with saints or Mother Mary, all of that to me is magic, because you are taking yourself outside of your human realm and ascending to this higher vibration where you are calling in higher powers, higher divinity. All of this for me in my own practice comes down to my own belief that everything starts with sound and vibration. And to me, that is backed up by the Bible, and it is backed up by the Word, right? The Word of God, the Word of divinity, the Word of Spirit. The Bible tells us that there was nothing, all was void, but then God spoke and things came into being, right? So that alone tells us that we can use the power of word and create magic with it. Like, it is plainly for us to see how divinity was able to speak everything from nothing just by speaking it into existence. So the power of creation is called logos, which means word. And in the Bible verses, Genesis, we are told that from that, the earth, man, animals, seas, everything that is around us came into existence from logos. So because we're also reassured that we are made from divinity's image and we are cut from the same cloth, we are created from the divine, God, spirit, universe, whatever applies to you. We are also imbued with that magical power and the ability of being able to speak things into existence. I also look at this as a divine right and privilege, being children and creations of the divine, to explore the realm of Christ-centered magic. We are called to learn more and believe in all of these amazing things that can happen once we open our mind and hearts, because that's what the divine is. We cannot box him, her, they up in one label. We are all these incredible spiritual beings, and we have so much power, and it was given to us, and we don't have to condemn it. We don't have to look at it as evil or dark. We can look at it as a gift from the divine that was given to us. I think it's also important to remember that we all have spiritual gifts, psychic abilities, spiritual powers that we can use, whether it's clairvoyance, whether it's being able to work with plants and herbs at a much higher level, or being able to communicate with animals on a deeper level. No matter what it is, you can call it whatever you want. Again, I don't like labels, but you can call it metaphysical, you can call it magic, you can call it elemental work, you can call it energy work, but that is all within us. Every single one has the ability to do that. So whether you want to tap into that, it's always a personal choice, and there's no right or wrong, but it is inside of us. So if we're able to work with magic and being able to use all of those psychic or spiritual gifts, I personally believe in my Christ consciousness that comes from God. That is my main source of divinity that I work with. And that's how I can keep the Christ-centeredness. I don't know if centeredness is a word, but we're just going to go with it. But that's how I keep my practice based on Christ consciousness. So when people are using some type of, I don't know, calling in the elements or calling in candle magic or manifestation and the universal laws, they may be calling it a different name, but I just call it source. I call it Christ consciousness. I call it the spirit or God. So when I am doing energy work or spiritual work, what I'm doing is I'm actually calling in Christ consciousness to work with me and use me, and allow me to be that vessel for Christ consciousness to work through me for the betterment and the enlightenment of others. One of the most important things in my practices, whether I'm working with crystals, which come from the earth, which was created by God, and the divinity of God is infused in everything around us. Whether I'm working with crystals, whether I'm working with candles or energy work, Reiki, any type of holistic healing modality, I make sure that it comes from a place where I check in with my Christ consciousness belief. Am I placing ego in the way in my practices? And I'm doing this because ego is telling me that I should do this. I need to be out there. I need to be seen doing this. Is this practice for my highest good and for everyone else's highest good? And it has no ill intentions. It has only pure light and love, and it brings forth only positive vibes and positive outcomes. Is this something that Christ consciousness would believe in and preach and teach or encourage me to do? If those things align with Christ consciousness, which is all gentleness and love and light and fairness, then to me, whatever practice you choose to engage with is something that has Christ-centered, and it cannot be bad. Christ is all good. Christ consciousness is divinity. It's acceptance. So for me, checking in with that Christ consciousness belief and personal relationship, it guides the way I use crystals. It guides the way I use tarot. When I do readings for people, I primarily only work with archangels and Master Jesus. I confer with Christ consciousness to be able to bring forth the truest, the best, highest reading that I can get. To me, I utilize all these things that were placed on earth, like crystals and oils and aromatherapy. And I do use the understanding of, modalities like tarot and oracle or pendulums. I use those as different tools, not divine tools in their physical form, but just tools that I'm allowed to hear and to understand concept of the highest vibration that I perhaps could not hear in simple human words, right? I ask those practices and the modalities and the tools that I use in my practice to be blessed by Christ consciousness, and not to be worshipped, not to say, oh, this candle, it is like a spiritual, magical gadget. It is what you imbue into it. It has the meaning that you give it to it. Does that make sense? So if I give everything I use a meaning that it is Christ consciousness and that it's his spiritual divinity that I am working with, and those are just modalities and ways for me to use them, that is the true, in my opinion, in my lifestyle, in my own personal practice, that is the true Christ consciousness way. As always, thank you so much for your support. I'm always open to ideas on things that you want me to cover, or just having more conversations on this. So definitely subscribe if you're not already. Please help me spread this channel to more people and bring more awareness. It doesn't cost anything to just subscribe and hit that like button, and it really does make a difference. So thank you so much, Tribe, for joining me today. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that it made sense. I feel like I was a little bit all over the place, but you know, we have to start somewhere. Until next time, bye.